Hello. There we go. Sustainability. Hello! I have not yet done a sit-down video, but I figured that this would be a good one to start with. The year is 2020. Happy 2020. Happy new decade. Happy new year. Hope we don't die soon. One of my goals for this year was to be more sustainable. So that means reduce my waste, reduce my carbon footprint, reduce my negative impact on this earth, because the earth is dying and so are we. I've been doing pretty well at this over the past year. I just wanted to amp up my efforts. So I'm here to tell you about all the ways in which I and you can cheaply, affordably, with a little bit of time, patience, commitment, effort, and dedication, help the planet a little, kind of. The most sustainable option is to die, but here are other alternatives. Let's talk about fashion. I've just been trying to reduce my shopping in fast fashion stores and be cognizant of where my clothes are coming from, who's making them, how they're making them, and how many times I'm going to wear them. So I wanted to share with you all of the ways that I am making sure that my clothes have a longer lifespan, that way they are given the appropriate amount of use. Say no to fast fashion. I know it's hard. And I'm not going to pretend like I don't sometimes do it, but I've greatly reduced the amount of times that I've shopped fast fashion in the past few years, and I honestly think I've saved a lot of money. That's sort of the gimmick of fast fashion, is you think everything's so cheap that you can buy a bunch of it and you can buy it all the time, and then it ends up adding up and costing you a lot. And if you're investing either in pieces that you'll wear for a long time, or you are spending less money at thrift shops, secondhand stores, or on apps like Depop, where things are secondhand, they're used, so they tend to be cheaper, you end up saving a ton of money by shopping this way. And you also end up getting more wears out of the clothes that you buy, because you start to think about what you actually want rather than oh, this white t-shirt's $5, I'm gonna get it. You don't need another white t-shirt. You don't. I do most of my shopping thrifting or secondhand. I will go to thrift stores. A lot of the times I use apps like Depop and Poshmark. Got this sweater from Depop. I like it a lot. It's very yellow. I have a rule of thumb. An item of clothing should last 30 wears. So if you're thinking about buying a piece of clothing, think about whether or not you'll wear it 30 times. Think about whether it'll last 30 times. And then you can decide whether or not you want to make that investment. Think about the lifespan of your clothes, how many wears you're going to get out of them, and whether or not spending your money on that is really worth it to you when you could spend more money on something that might be more high quality, or something you might wear more, like a really good pair of jeans or a really good pair of shoes, etc. So what can you do with your old clothes? About 2 times a year, I go through and I purge my closet, get rid of everything that I haven't worn recently, don't see myself wearing, haven't worn enough times, and I will give them more life. So either I will put them online to sell on apps like Depop or Poshmark, I will take them to a secondhand shop and see if they want to buy anything, and if all else fails, I just give it all to Goodwill and someone there will take it and do something with it, or they won't, but then at least it's not my responsibility anymore. So yeah, always make sure that your clothes get a second life. Now let's talk about food and drink, my favorite topics. I try to eat as plant-based as I possibly can. This means being conscious of dairy, being conscious of meat, and animal byproducts, although I do eat eggs quite regularly, even though I don't like them that much. I should figure that out. Anyway, just eating as plant-based as possible is really, really important to me, and I try to do it. I don't hold myself to it as a strict, hard and fast rule. I love dairy. I am lactose intolerant, but I love dairy. I love cheese. I love ice cream. I love all that kind of stuff. I try not to eat it as much as I possibly can, not only for the earth, but for my body. There are so many places that you can get your protein from as a plant-based eater. I'm sure you know of tofu, tempeh, edamame, beans, lentils. The list goes on. Once every week, don't eat meat. For one meal a day, where you usually eat meat, don't. Try it. I promise it still tastes good. So if you aren't already, I suggest that you try to reduce your intake of meat, dairy, and animal byproducts. Even if it's just by a little, you are making a difference. In terms of food, transportation, and storage, I have some options for you. Plastic is not recyclable, guys. Plastic is not recyclable, in case you didn't know. Unless it's special, recyclable plastic. Recyclable plastic. Plastic's not recyclable. So we need to be doing our best to not use as much plastic. I keep a water bottle on me at all times. The last time I ever purchased a single bottle of water was in 2017. Yeah, 2017. I was forced to because I did not bring my water bottle like an idiot. And even then, I bought one plastic water bottle from a gas station, kept filling it up the entire week long, and did not buy another one. By my principles, I don't think we should be paying for water. It's free, so I refuse to pay for it. So yeah, carry a water bottle on you wherever you go. In terms of transporting other drinks such as coffee, tea, etc., there are a couple options. You can always repurpose a jar that you have in your house, either for pasta sauce or olives or I don't know, whatever else you're jarring, and use that as a drink container or a water container if you don't want to buy a water bottle. You can also purchase a reusable coffee cup or tea cup to keep your things insulated and warm. I do have a couple of those. I always think that it's worth it to make an investment in those kinds of things because they do last a long time. For example, got my water bottle. My friend gave it to me for my Christmas birthday present because it was expensive. It's 32 ounces and it's a hydro flask. Very trendy. She gave it to me a year ago and I've used it every single day. I've taken it everywhere I go. It's got mass amounts of dents all over it just because of how skilled and graceful I am. But I get so much use out of it and I have not purchased water in such a long time. So definitely recommend getting a good water bottle. I like to take coffee with me to school sometimes or tea or other things, and I also have cups for that I've invested in. But before I had those cups, I just used a pasta sauce jar. Took off the label, washed out the inside, boom, there we go. Got my coffee in my pasta jar, and yeah, people are gonna ask you, you're drinking pasta sauce? And you say, does this look like pasta sauce to you? No, it's coffee. I also got a plastic ice cream pint jar from the Milk Bar flagship. It's plastic, it's large. I thought it would be nice to bring oats in to school, so I decided to keep it, and I've been using it for transporting food and whatnot, and I think that's great too. Repurpose as much as you can. This does not have to be expensive. Like I said, if you want to make an investment, you can. Cool, but it doesn't have to be something that you need a bunch of money for. Speaking of saving plastic, stop using your Ziplocs. Ziplocs are awful. They're horrible. They're tiny little things. They're so flimsy. You can use them like 1 or 2 times, and then you have to throw them away because they're meant to be disposable. How about you get something like this? I have a few of these. They're like plastic Ziploc bags. They zip up just like a Ziploc. You wash them. They're good. I got this set of them. There were 4 in this set. They were $5 at Marshall's. And then recently I've asked for silicone versions as well for Christmas, so I got some of those. And they're really, really good for bringing snacks on the go, for keeping things in your fridge. Fantastic. No need for Ziplocs anymore, so say goodbye to those. As far as bringing your food goes, bring and use Tupperware. Tupperware is the thing that I said I was most thankful for this year because I truly, truly am. I bring lunch to school so often. Sometimes I bring lunch and dinner to school. And 1, it saves me so much money. I don't have to eat out. 2, it saves so much food waste. If I make something and I think it's going to go to waste, I'll put it in some Tupperware, save it, reuse it for another meal or eat it the next day. Then I save time, I save money, I save energy, and I save the world. I always also bring utensils. I try not to ever have to use a disposable utensil because those just get thrown away. You don't need a fancy set of utensils, guys. I don't have one. I just take a fork from my drawer, put it in my backpack, and I eat my rice with it. Take your straws, take your utensils, take your Tupperware, take your reusable bags, take your water bottle, take your coffee cup, take your jars. Dunzo. I forgot to mention these. They're beeswax food wraps. So they're made out of beeswax and they serve as a saran wrap basically. They warm at the contact of your hand and can seal off things like cans, bowls, and serve as wraps for your fruits, veggies, sandwiches, or whatever. Shopping! Shopping results in using so much plastic. If you just pay attention to how many times you're bagging things in plastic or things come in plastic at the grocery store, that's a lot of stuff that gets thrown out. Use a reusable shopping bag! So many grocery stores sell them. They're super inexpensive. They're like totes or canvas bags that you can purchase from the grocery store. They're a couple of dollars, and if you keep reusing them, I swear to you, it will pay off. I have a Bagoo, which I love. It's super sturdy, it's strong, it's massive. We fit almost all of our groceries in it every single week. Fantastic. Love it. If you can't splurge on a bag for whatever reason, that's okay. Reuse the bags that you get. Now, we're not perfect. Sometimes we forget our reusable shopping bag and we are cursed with paper or plastic. But you can reuse those and give them one more life before you have to throw them away. So first of all, paper bags are always recyclable. What should you do with that then? Use them as recycling bags. With our big brown paper bags that we get from Trader Joe's, we use those as recycling bags because we're too cheap to buy a recycling can. Recycling can? Recycling holder. Recycling garbage can. Recycling can. recycling bin? We're too cheap to buy a recycling bin, so we just use those bags as recycling bags, and because they're recyclable, and then everything else gets recycled. How many times can you say recycled in a video? As far as plastic bags go, use them as bags. If you can't afford these or don't want to buy them for whatever reason, don't buy Ziplocs. Reuse those plastic bags you get from the grocery store and put your vegetables or your snacks or whatever in them. Another thing you can do while shopping to reduce your plastic is shop in bulk. It'll actually end up saving you money in the long run, and you can reduce your plastic. So go to any one of your natural grocery stores, Whole Foods, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, any co-ops that might have bulk bins, and go ahead and buy all of your non-perishable items there. Put them on your shelf and they won't go bad because they're non-perishable. You end up reducing so much plastic and saving a lot of money by buying a bunch of them all at once rather than individually often buying them in plastic. Let's talk about beauty really briefly, because to be honest with you, I haven't made very many changes in my beauty routine and I'm trying to change that. Please tell me any ways that I can be more sustainable. Thank you. Anyway, as I've just mentioned, it can be kind of difficult to change up your beauty routine in ways that are sustainable. For example, I really like the shampoo and conditioner I use. It works great for my color treated hair. It comes in plastic and I'm not yet ready to convince myself to make the change. I'm not perfect, okay? I might seem it, but I'm not. Just kidding, y'all know I'm not. What happened? Oh. Haha. However, there are a couple of things that I have done recently to make some small changes. So for Christmas, Maddie actually got me a body wash bar and a solid perfume. They're zero waste! The perfume came in a little metal tin, and the body wash bar came with nothing except for a piece of paper wrapped around it, which is recyclable. And even the packaging it came in was recyclable, so that's great. My friend Nina has been using a shampoo bar. I know Lush sells them, although I heard they're not great. I just bought her one from a brand called By Humankind. I don't know if they're any good or not. I just heard good reviews. So yeah, there are a few ways that you can make efforts in your beauty routine to be more sustainable and more waste-free. However, I'm not going to talk extensively about that because I haven't done enough of it yet. So stay tuned for an update video. As far as home goes, I try to use as few paper towels as I humanly can. When I was in Paris, I bought one roll of paper towels, used them all, didn't want to spend money on them anymore, stopped buying them, and realized I didn't need them. Ever. Use regular towels and wash them when you can. As far as dishes go, please don't use disposable dishes. Guys, it takes almost nothing to grab a sponge, put some soap on it, run it under some water for like 10 seconds. It's good. It's clean. It's fine. Wash your dishes. Don't use disposable things. Wash your Tupperware. Don't use disposable things. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's talk about what our big takeaways here are. Time for a review class! If you take away anything from this video, make sure that you wear and use everything as much as humanly possible. That means clothes, food, anything you buy. Make sure everything is getting as much life as possible before it becomes waste. Be prepared. Make food. Bring your utensils. Bring your reusable shopping bags. Not everyone's perfect. You will forget. That's fine. You are making an effort, and even the smallest things add up and can make a difference over time. Nobody's perfect! A lot of the time, we're killing the earth because of convenience. And I know that it sucks that we have to be prepared and make our own food and wash our own dishes instead of just throwing things away and leaving it for the world to deal with, but the world's not going to deal with it. The world's going to die. So I implore you to sometimes, occasionally, throw convenience out the window and do the hard thing. Do the right thing. Do the good thing. Do the sustainable thing. Be conscious of your decisions and what they're doing to the planet. If you decide to buy a shirt at Forever 21 or H&M, that's fine. Just know where you're putting your money and make sure that your items get enough use to justify that purchase. Finally, this doesn't have to be expensive. I'm cheap, and I'm poor, and I'm broke, and I'm living in one of the most expensive cities in the world, and by golly does my wallet feel it. You don't have to buy a $40 water bottle or a $20 insulated cup for coffee or even a $5 set of plastic Ziploc bags. You can just use what you've got. You can reuse those pasta jars. You can reuse your plastic and paper bags. You can reuse everything. You don't have to go buy a $100 pair of jeans because they came from a sustainable company. You can go buy a $5 pair of jeans from Goodwill. Sustainable living sometimes isn't easy, especially if it's not what you're used to. It takes time, dedication, effort, and love. But I think that the earth deserves it. And like I said, if you don't want to try it, the most sustainable thing to do is die. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you have any thoughts, ideas, words for me. I'll see you next time.